Hi guys, the preparations are on for the next eruption, and it seems we're not talking about weeks anymore. We're talking about days, maybe hours, and the preparations are ongoing. There's a lot to cover in this video, and that is very interesting because this time the Icelandic MET Office already started to collect their measuring equipment because they think it will be damaged by a lava flow, and you'll be surprised from where they have collected their equipment. And as I have reported in Campi Flegrei in Italy, in Iceland, there also seems to be an issue that parts of their equipment are being stolen, but that's not why they're collecting it. They're expecting a lava flow. And also Grindavik is in trouble when the coming eruption will hit. So we will talk about all of this. There's absolutely good and new information about what could happen. So let's start with the Icelandic Meteorological Office, what they have updated today. They say increased probability of a magma flow and even an eruption in the coming days. So they are saying the GPS measurements that they're collecting show that the land rise has slowed down a little bit in the last few days. And we know if the land rise starts to slow down, that is an indication that the shallow magma chamber underneath Svartsengi, where we have the geothermal power plant and the Blue Lagoon, is reaching the point of maximum elasticity. So it's full. It can't expand anymore. That's why the land rise slows down. If the magma chamber fills up, it lifts up the crust. So that's slowing down. That is indication number one. But indication number two is the increasing rate of earthquakes in this area. They say when they saw that development and the land rise would slow down, it was basically parallel with the seismic activity that they measured in the Sutnuka crater series yesterday. Sutnuka crater series, you see it here on the hazard map. This is the area where we will most likely see the next eruption along that magma dike that has formed on November 10th. But that magma dike goes basically from the sea through Grindavik into the Sutnuka crater series. It's 15 kilometers long. So the earthquakes and the reduced land rise could be an indication that we are approaching the next magma run, either an intrusion or an eruption very, very soon. So that's why they're saying they assume that we could see something at any time in the next few days, and it could even end up in an eruption if it's just an intrusion, like on November 10th when this magma dike was formed. So that is all happening underground. Magma is going out of the magma chamber, but going somewhere underneath. So they say what we're currently seeing is also similar to what happened before we saw previous eruptions. And they're also saying again, the warning time may be very short. And that's why there's also news for the residents of Grindavik, because residents went back to basically live in Grindavik, some of them to stay there overnight, to work there. That is also interesting what the officials are saying there, because they're officially saying we cannot protect you in Grindavik. And why is that? Because lava could flow through fissures in Grindavik. You know, there's a lot of fissures, old fissures, ancient fissures that go through Grindavik. If you look at that left bottom part here of the hazard map right here, you see all these black lines. These are all existing fissures, and these fissures during all these last events of the last month since November 10th, basically, they have gotten longer, they have gotten wider, and new fissures have developed. So Grindavik is like a Swiss cheese. So since we know the next eruption is not far away, the head of deformation measurements at the Icelandic Meteorological Office, Benedict Gunnar Ofaikson, he says the volcano will come onto the town or infrastructure in the next few days. So he thinks that it is unlikely that we will see a crack, an eruption open within the town limits. But it was one of the scenarios that the Icelandic Meteorological Office has laid out as a possible scenario, so that a volcanic fissure could open within Grindavik. But Benedict of Feixon says or thinks it's unlikely that the crack will open within the town limits, as there are no craters in the area that indicate that this has happened before. But he says he doesn't rule out the scenario. But I mean, look at that picture that MBL has put in this article here. That's what happened last January. A fissure did open at the doorstep of Grindavik and burn down 3 homes. So that was basically inside of Grindavik. So what do you think, guys? I don't think that can be ruled out because there are no craters. Because this system is unique, and what we know is with every eruption that it is producing, it's moving south, it's moving closer to Grindavik. So just to say because it hasn't happened in the past, you can't be sure that it won't happen this time, especially after what we've seen in January. But what he is saying, that lava could flow into the old fissures and then come out from there and spread the lava inside the town. So Benedict of Feixon thinks the crack will probably open in a similar area as last time. Other scientists are saying it could be more south, probably closer to Grindavik. But let's say it is in the Sutnuka crater series, in the area around Hagafell. He says from there the lava could flow south in these fissures that are a few hundred meters deep. So these are large. So they could collect the lava, and then it could flow, the lava could flow inside these fissures and then surprisingly emerge somewhere else inside the town without any indication. So he thinks the lava could fairly easy find its path to Grindavik. And there's also one of the old fissures that basically is going right through underneath the defense walls. And then the defense walls don't help if the lava is sneaking underneath the defense walls and not on top of it. I mean, they're busy enough. They're having problems to keep the lava from going over the defense walls, because the lava did that in Grindavik and really badly in Svartsengi at the last eruption. So they were really, really happy that the last eruption stopped. And we want to talk about their lava cooling equipment that they have ordered, because it has arrived. So what are they planning to do with this? So they're saying it is not excluded that a new crack could open within the area of the defense walls, because that has happened in January. They just don't think maybe a big crater. But you know what? Overall, it doesn't look good for Grindavik, because it doesn't really matter how the lava gets in there. If the lava gets in there, it's a big problem. So the Icelandic Meteorological Office, they said that to RUV, that's an Icelandic newspaper, television station, radio station. They say they're removing their GPS trackers because they think the eruption is impending and it's about to erupt near Grindavik. And that's why they're taking down their equipment in areas where they think the lava is most likely to flow. So again, Benedict of Feixon, the head of the deformation measurements at the Meteorological Office, says these instruments, they give them the ability to detect the smallest movements in the Earth's crust, and they are widely distributed around troubled areas, so that should there be magma on the move underground, that comes with earthquakes. That is important to know, because that's critical to give out warning time as soon as you detect these earthquake swarms. And when you feel a lot of earthquakes at one time that are so clustered, then you know it's coming. But if they're taking away these instruments, will they be able to detect anything? Especially when they take them away from critical areas that would definitely depend on warning time, like Svartsengi. We know the Blue Lagoon is in there, and they're always waiting till the last minute, right? They always, like most of the times, the eruption has already started when they evacuate. So is that a problem now? So Benedict of Feixen says the accuracy of these meters is great. They're receiving information in real time so that they can see when the magma injection is starting. And he thinks by removing a few in critical areas that they're not losing much. And it looks like they're only taking down 1 meter. I mean, yeah, okay. But shouldn't you risk losing some of these devices just to get the most important information, to give out the most warning time, and then if it's run over by lava, then replace it? I don't know. But he says when they left the equipment alone during the last eruptive period, parts of it were stolen, and that is really disgusting. I have no other word for that. So that's why it seems they're collecting their equipment. So it's costing them a lot of money if it's stolen or if it's gone. So I can understand it, but of course it's a little bit worrying. And the good thing is their new lava cooling equipment has been installed to protect Svartsengi, because at the end of the last eruption, it was a close call. So they were lucky that the eruption ended, because the lava was flowing over the defense wall and inside and towards the power plant. So the power plant would be the first thing to go, and then the Blue Lagoon. So they are saying that it is a powerful equipment that they have installed at Svartsengi to prevent the lava from flowing to the power plant. They have laid water pipelines that are leading towards the defense wall that is closest, that side of the defense wall that is closest to the potential eruption site, the Sutnuka crater series. So what they're planning is to catch the lava there and to cool it down and to try to build a barrier so that the lava will flow into another area. Because they say the big project is to protect the power plant at Svartsengi. And they have said 2 weeks ago, it'll be difficult when the next eruption comes to protect the power plant and the Blue Lagoon and Grindavik. So they're worried, that's for sure. So they did lay, just today, 10-inch hose pipes for the purpose of lava cooling along the defense walls. And they said we're laying about 4 kilometers of 10-inch hoses that will connect to 4 large 13,000 liter water pumps. So interesting stuff, and it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work. So they have put a lot of effort in. As you can see, they have laid these hoses underneath the road. So these hoses and pumps have only been bought for the purpose to cool that, and they will also use it to prevent wildfires. It did cost them almost 500 million Icelandic kronas. And they really needed like a roller packing machine that had rolled these walls, and they were used to transport them. And where's the lava? Where's the water coming from? Where the lava's coming from, we know, from underneath Svartsengi and the Blue Lagoon. And the water is coming mostly from Svartsengi itself and the Blue Lagoon. Oh my God, will they empty out the pool? So, you know, guys, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know what I mean. So the pipelines are running underneath the main access road for the Blue Lagoon and Grindavik that comes basically from the northern part. So if you're coming from Reykjavik, the capital, or from Keflavik airport, you're using the road Grindavíkurvegur, and the pipelines, they have made the hole running them underneath the road and then over Silingerfell towards the defense walls. And then from there, water will be sprayed on the lava to prevent it from reaching that defense wall, that retaining wall that they have built. The problem is that the landscape is sloping down from the eruption site down towards Svartsengi and the defense wall. So that's why the lava is very liquid, so that makes it fast. So it's rapidly flowing there once the eruption starts. And they say there's a lot of work that they have to do. They say their biggest task is to protect the power plant. When they started to cool down the lava at the last eruption, they didn't have the right equipment, so it wasn't super successful. So the police chief of Sodorns wants people out of Grindavik. He says the police, they cannot guarantee the safety of those that are staying in Grindavik. So people are staying in 34 houses in Grindavik as of last night. And the police chief is advising against that. He doesn't like that. He says there's too much uncertainty. And under the current conditions, they cannot guarantee their safety, because if something erupts too close to Grindavik or inside of Grindavik, the access and exit roads could be blocked very, very quickly. And if a fissure opens underneath a house or something, very, very bad. So what we have to do is sit and wait and see what the volcano will do. As always, warning time will be short to nothing. Once we will see the clusters of earthquakes happening, then they're coming like bang, 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 a lot of earthquakes. Then we know it's going to start, and it seems like it can happen while I'm speaking. So guys, I'll be on the pulse of this volcano and I'll report about this once it's going to happen, guys. So thanks for watching. Please leave this video a like. If you're new here, subscribe for more of this. I have a playlist for Iceland, but also Campi Flegrei, potential super volcano in Italy, and lots of other stuff. And check out this video here in the end screen. I just released this yesterday, and I find this amazing. At a depth of 13,000 feet, 4,000 meters, in the total darkness of the Pacific Ocean, they found oxygen. Something's producing oxygen without sunlight. So what is it? This is groundbreaking. Check out this video, guys, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye bye.